more and more I found that carers were just on their own. They were coping as best they could. They were in really, really difficult situations. The end result was never going to be good, so whoever they were going to care for was going to pass away. And it just, I suppose, broke my heart that we weren't doing something for them.
The mind training has given me sort of almost a completely different way of looking at my life and how I do things. It's given me lots of different tools to deal with those really difficult situations. Caring for someone and dealing with all the challenges that throws up. It's given me lots of different little tools in a toolkit that I can draw on that just make it easier to get through and live a life that you can be happy living whilst doing all of the really difficult stuff that gets thrown up at you. My life before the training was a complete jumble of feeling completely overwhelmed by the task at hand in caring for my mum. Feeling completely overwhelmed by all of the emotions that come up with that, as well as the practical things day to day, and I felt completely ground into the dirt. Since I've done the training, I've noticed progressively a sense of being, I guess, freed from that sense of being ground down by life and the challenges, and I've been able to reclaim a life for myself aside of my role as a carer, and that's been incredibly worthwhile and necessary. I used to feel as though my mind was doing all the talking and my body was just a silent partner being dragged along for the ride, and now I'm able to use some of the tools to actually give my body a voice and talk back to my mind so that I'm not actually, I'm more in control of how I'm feeling and how I'm moving through my life, and I can choose whether to buy into the difficult things or whether to actually go away, which is more positive. And my body is a big part of that partnership, that my mind doesn't just drag me along through life. The mind training program has helped me to separate out the tasks that I have to do so that I can feel more in the moment. When I'm with my mum, I can actually enjoy being with her as her daughter, and then also be more effective in the roles I have to do as her carer.
The big thing for me, like I say, it's just taught me to come back to the present, slow down, take a pause, think about what's happening, and take time out just for myself. Nothing's going to happen in a few minutes, so just step back. That's been a really big thing for me. And letting a lot of little things slide that I would never have normally done because I was always in control. After the mind training, I can see a much clearer route through without all the distractions on the side, and I'm able now to step over the mess of life. The program has given me permission to be myself and not be labelled as a carer, a capable person, an MND subculture person.
I was a little bit sceptical about what the mind training could do for me. I thought that I was very well in the mind, but having done this process, I realised that I haven't been, and I'm not. And I have very much taken on board that I can improve a lot of things in my life by using the tools. When my husband was diagnosed a few years ago, I was very set on improving my strength from a physical point of view. I was concentrating on getting stronger, I was concentrating on improving my back, my arms, enabled to manage everything that was going on. I thought I needed to be physically stronger. And what I've learned over the last few weeks is that my priorities were all wrong, that my mind was more important, possibly, than my physical strength, because learning how the mind connects to the body has been such an awakening for me. So where I thought that the most important thing was to get my body right, I've now had that sort of light bulb moment that it was more important to get my mind right, and then everything else would follow from that. I was running just from one task to another in what I thought was a terribly efficient superwoman. And then over the last few weeks, having noticed the change in me and how much calmer I am, how I'm seeing I'm seeing all the problems that I deal with in a day, I'm seeing them in a slightly different light. I'm now seeing them as more of a challenge that I can do what needs to be done with them. I'm seeing everything in my day a little bit clearer, and I've even become a wee bit more creative in where I want to take my business. Being a carer, you are so involved in caring and looking after the person that you're caring for that you become a little bit lost in that it's all about them. And in taking a bit of a step back, and this is what the course has done for me, that I'm important to look after, because if I fall down, everything falls down. And it's very much given me permission to take a bit more care of myself and give myself a little bit of space and a bit of time so that I can be the best that I can be. Via the program, I've seen opportunities to change the day for me. So I now recognise in a day the gaps, which I'm using as the pauses. So to finish one job with Daryl and do it well, and if I've chosen to do an extra massage of his feet and not get to an appointment with a client, then I've chosen to take that time and be with him in that moment. And then once I've finished that, then it's race off to the client. But I now break the day up in moments with Daryl, moments that are work, a little pause, maybe watering the garden for me, but I've now seen how the day can be broken up. My sleeping pattern, I now sleep like a log since the mindful training, because I'm using my unpacking. And during the night when he needs my assistance, I would normally be aware of him needing my assistance because I was such a light sleeper. I've been waiting for him to call. He has to now say at least 3 times, Karen, Karen.
It's actually blown me away, the difference that I'm seeing just in the demeanour, body language of people.